Recently, we did a video about if you have 2 weeks off, where can you go? But we had a lot of people ask us, well, what if you have like 3 or 4 weeks off? Where would we recommend?
How to make it epic, 3 to 4 weeks. That's what we're going to talk about today.
Now, these are all places that we have actually traveled to that we are recommending that you would go to, or that we look forward to going back to again. The first destination that we suggest would be a travel through Southeast Asia, kind of do a loop, and that would include going Thailand and Vietnam.
Right. Now, when we make these suggestions, these are places that we're excited to get back to. But you might find once you get over there, there's some places you might want to hit along the way. We started in Bangkok, and we thought Bangkok would be scary and busy and complicated, overwhelming, and it wasn't at all. We loved Bangkok. We plan on going back to Bangkok just if we have to fly through to get someplace else.
Yeah, I've told Brett,
city.
even if we just use it as a hub to land in, we may just spend a week there because that's one of the draws for this area is the food. The food in this area is absolutely amazing. We love Thai food anyways, but when you're getting authentic Thai food and at an incredibly reasonable price, all that just tied together makes this an incredible place to vacation.
I think that's it. I think that's why we started with number one. This is a budget channel, but this isn't really a budget video. But if you want to make it a budget video, this is where to start. Southeast Asia obviously is very budget friendly. The food is easy to come by. It's very inexpensive. Start yourself in Bangkok, see Bangkok, go to Chinatown, do all those things Bangkok has to offer, and then fly up to Chiang Mai, because Chiang Mai, when we talk about food, probably has the best we've ever had.
Yeah, and so Chiang Mai goes down as one of my absolute favorite places. We flew there. You can always take a train, but I'm telling you, the train is about a day. It takes like an entire day to take this train for about the same price that you're going to fly. So if you want that experience, good on you.
Like
we chose to hop on an hour flight and get there quicker. We fell in love with Chiang Mai. Chiang Mai has everything that you possibly would need, short of a beach. There is not a beach there, so you are inland. But the markets, the night markets, were some of the best night markets that we've ever seen.
Yeah, we had a great time. We stayed there for a month, and we didn't get bored at all. So from there, we cut across to northern Vietnam and went to Hanoi. Now, Hanoi, like Bangkok, is an amazing city, huge, very busy. I would say we were a little bit more overwhelmed there than we were down in Bangkok.
We were. It was immediately out the gate, getting picked up from the airport. We get a taxi, and it's just cars honking and loud and crazy and chaotic. But that was part of the experience, and that was something. Yeah, that was something we absolutely kind of anticipated and expected. We expected to get more of that in Bangkok, and we didn't. So we only spent a few days in Hanoi, and I think that's really all that you need. But from there.
We did the tour, the Halong Bay cruise.
We went to Halong Bay, and that is something that we would highly recommend. You can set up a tour. You can have them pick you up at your hotel in Hanoi. They take you to the Halong Bay area. Everything is planned for you, so it's a very easy thing to do. They're not
very organized.
Very organized. They're not inexpensive, but it is something we splurged and did, and we have zero regrets on.
Yeah, we'll leave the link to the one we went on down below. Now, there's a lot to choose from, but why not go on the one we went on? We had a great time.
We did.
We'd recommend it.
Yeah, and now from there, you're going to want to head more south. You want to go to Hoi An or to Da Nang. They're about 20 minutes from each other, so either or. If you like the little bit more bigger city feel, a little bit more things going on, you may want to pick Da Nang, and then maybe do a day trip to Hoi An or switch those out.
Or vice versa.
Yeah.
You could do it either way. I think if we were to do it again, we would probably stay in Hoi An.
We would. We fell in love with Hoi An. We only went there and spent a couple nights, and we wish that we had spent more time. We have talked to numerous people who spent their time on the beach there and really loved it. But it just was an area with so much culture. It can be a little bit more touristy, but the lantern festivals that they have, and at night everything being lit up, it is just a sight that you want to see.
And if you're in the market for a tailored suit, that's the place to be. They'll measure you, they'll have it ready for you in less than 24 hours. Now I chose not to because I don't know. I'm not. This is about as dressy as I get. I think.
Well, we're carry-on only,
But
so
we're
where's it
carry-on
going
only.
on?
Now, unfortunately, our trip ended there. We at the time only had 30-day visa in Vietnam. They've extended that now. Now this is a 30-day video, so why didn't we do more? Well, because at the time we were slow travelers. We spent most of that time in Da Nang. I think if we were to do it over again, we would have headed further south.
We would have, yeah, and we had a lot of people recommend that, so that's something you could look into, but you can also expand out and go Cambodia, Laos, and there's so many areas around there to see, but like we said, this is the loop that we did. It's what we absolutely enjoyed. If you want to move faster, just add more locations.
You got to get Angkor Wat. That's someplace that's on our bucket list that when we do go back to Southeast Asia, Cambodia is going to be the place that we start. Destination number 2, South America, specifically Argentina, Chile, and Peru. That's something we just did here recently. And I'll tell you what, we did the Antarctic cruise as part of that. And it was fantastic, mind-blowing.
Yeah, you know, when we went from Southeast Asia and now we're in South America, a way different in price category, so you know you're going to be spending a bit more money, but the sites that you're going to see there, you know, you can do, like Brian said, the Antarctica cruise. You could also just do a cruise that takes you, say, out of Buenos Aires, and it will take you all the way around and then bring you into, I believe, is it Santiago in Chile. You can do that. You're going to see a lot of that area for maybe a little bit more affordable way as well.
Yeah, to get down to the Patagonia area and to tour that whole thing is a lot of long bus rides, some plane rides. And it's something that we didn't really prepare for. We knew going in that that's something we weren't going to do. Someday it'll be there. We'll get to it. But we didn't do it this time. Instead, we decided to go up to Machu Picchu. We did Cusco in Peru. And that is a highlight for us. So it was there. Argentina started us off, and Machu Picchu was to finish. And I'll tell you what, it goes up there as probably in the last 4 years, the 2 highlights.
Yeah, you know, we started in Buenos Aires, mainly because we had a cruise that we were going on and it was starting out of Buenos Aires. You know, so you could start in Buenos Aires, you could go and we didn't get to Iguazu Falls. Once again, we had a lot on our plate that we were going to be doing during these travels, so we didn't have that on there, but that's a popular choice and we should have done it.
Everybody tells us you should have gone.
Yeah. You have to pick and choose. But, you know, and then make your way to Chile and explore those areas, and then definitely head to Peru and hit Machu Picchu, Sacred Valley. That goes down as probably, Cusco goes down as absolutely one of, I don't know, I said that about Chiang Mai.
Right.
But
right. Chiang Mai and Cusco for Carrie are 1 and 1A.
They were both just absolutely amazing. The food's amazing. I don't know, you were just going to get so many different cultures when you're in South America in those areas. All of them felt just a little bit different.
A little bit different, and it's all affordable. Once you get to Peru, now obviously if you want to move faster than we did, Ecuador, the Galapagos Islands, all that is available for you. The Amazon, Carrie really wanted to do the Amazon tour down the Amazon River. She wanted to do the kayaks. I said, no way am I doing that.
Not a chance.
So we didn't do that, but you could. So there's a lot to do, and you can get it all in 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah. One of the tips that we will give you for this area that kind of caught us a little bit off guard is that we did plan ahead because we looked way ahead of how much things are going to cost when we were there. Flights caught us off guard because if you can get those flights earlier, this is an area where you definitely save money. If you wait too long and you start to buy them closer to your travel time, which is what we typically do because it's not usually a big difference, they really went up in price. So getting around South America we found to be very costly, but I think if you can plan further ahead, it will help you out.
If you plan better than we did, you're on par.
Now the third destination, this is if maybe you're looking for something maybe a little slower pace, a little more relaxing, and this is going to Central Europe and seeing it by train, by bus, and just kind of taking the slow travel mode.
Yeah, taking the slow travel mode is the key to this. Now, you could do this in 2 weeks if you want to be, I don't know, for us it would be too hectic, too fast paced for us. Do it in a 4-week period of time where you can stop and see everything you need to see. Start in the Czech Republic, move to Poland, get into Germany, Austria, Hungary, Italy. You know, you can do that whole region, but take it slow.
Yeah, you know, one of the beauties of Europe is their train systems, especially in Central Europe. It was so easy to get around, and not just the trains, like we said, the buses. We did travel pretty much that route by train and by bus. This is an area where you don't have to plan ahead, really. You can if you want to for the bus and the train rides, but you really don't have to. You can buy them when you need them. Maybe look into that Eurail pass. It might save you a lot of money in the long run if you're going to be on a train a lot.
And the flex buses are nice too.
Bus, yeah.
It wasn't one of these where they pack as many people in as they can. No, you've got room. They're clean. The bathrooms may or may not work. We were on a couple that did and a couple that didn't. That's a hit and miss.
Yeah, don't plan on it.
But they are clean.
They are. Yeah, you know, this area to me, this was beautiful. It's scenic. It's going to be scenic from the train. It's going to be scenic from that bus. We really just enjoyed and relaxed. The travel days became part of the trip instead of, okay, we got to move to the next location. We didn't dread them so much. It was something we kind of looked forward to.
Yeah, airports can kind of be not as much fun. I'll just put it to you that way. I love a train.
Yeah, we do. We love the
trains.
trains.
Buses are okay, but I really enjoy a good train ride.
Well, and another positive on this area is this isn't actually, you know, other than some of these areas. So Germany and Austria are going to be up there a little bit higher in price, but we found Czech Republic, Poland, and even in, I don't know, some of Germany, I guess, we found to be quite affordable. So, you know, I think this is one of those that you could make it more expensive or make it less expensive, however you want to do it.
Well, and we've talked about the food in Asia. Let's talk about the beer in this region of the world.
Can't not do that, yeah.
It is some of the best beer in the world. And whenever I say this is the part of the world with the best beer, I always get challenged on other places, you know, other beer regions of the world. So I've already heard it. Germany has some of the best beer in the world.
Germany, I would say Germany, Poland, and Czech Republic were some of I just love that style of beer. So yeah, we absolutely had a great time enjoying all of that. And then the food as well. They have a very hearty, really just great food, a lot of kind of meat, potato, bread. What's wrong? What's not to love there?
The key to this trip is to take it slow.
Yes, take it slow. This is your slow option.
Okay, number 4 on the list, one of our favorites. I mean, there's all of our favorites, but this has got to be up there. Now, we kept this one off our 2-week itinerary vacation list in that last video. We're putting it on this one because we want you to go and we want you to spend more time, and that's the Balkans, Romania, a place that I think is really overlooked by a lot of us when we're planning a vacation. But Romania, Croatia, where else is Bosnia, all these places are amazing.
They are. And you know what we would suggest doing is starting in Romania, fly into Bucharest, spend a few days there. That's kind of all you need, you know, and then travel. And some of our favorite places was Brasov, Sighisoara, Sibiu, and then I'd finish off in Cluj, that part of your trip, just because you can then fly out of there and head to Bosnia.
Right, head to Sarajevo, which you can experience the 84 Olympics, the bobsled
cool.
area. It was very, very interesting. The history it's sad history. It's relative recent history, but it is something that is worth experiencing. We had a great time learning the history.
We really
I don't know if a great time is really how you describe it. But it is a very interesting place to visit.
It was way more interesting than I thought it was going to be. And it was, like you were talking, more recent history. You really felt it, what had gone on there and what they had gone through. And so it's definitely something that we would highly recommend for people to go and experience. Once again, the culture, the food, everything was wonderful, the hospitality. Now from there, we took a bus and we went to Mostar, which Mostar is it really goes down as one of the most picturesque towns that we have ever been to.
Yeah, it's postcard.
It is postcard worthy, absolutely, and you see it all over the place. You really only need maybe 2 days there. There's not a lot there to see, but it is such a gorgeous place. You want to stop there.
A lot of shopping, a lot of touristy type stuff, but you're in cobblestone streets. There's a brewery.
There's a brewery.
There.
We spend a lot of time there.
And
Some
so,
great food too.
Yeah, some great food. So it's a part of the thing. If you're in that region, you've got to go there.
Yeah.
But from there, you can also get to Split, Croatia. We took a bus. It was a 4-hour bus ride that turned into an 8-hour bus ride because there was an accident on the highway, I think.
Yeah.
So that was a long day. But Split would be our next destination.
And I'll add that with the 8-hour bus ride, there was not a bathroom.
No,
and
there was no
I think
bathroom.
he stopped once, like in the first hour and a half he stopped, and then we didn't stop again, so that was a little rough.
Yeah.
But anyways, that was a very cool way to get to Croatia as we took the bus, and then actually ended up spending a couple months in Split. We could have stopped earlier if you want to be in some of the smaller towns, but something we would highly recommend people looking into doing, we have not done it yet, we have complete plans to do it, is there are all these like 1 week long cruises that you can take out of in Croatia, where it takes you around to the islands.
Right.
But they look absolutely cool, and they were actually pretty affordable.
They're pretty affordable. They go from Dubrovnik up to Split or vice versa. It's something we looked into when we started our whole adventure, and it's something that we're going to do. But then we became extremely budgeted, so we had to take that off the list. But it is something that I would recommend you doing because it's only a week long, and you could do this whole thing from Romania all the way to Split in 3 to 4 weeks, no problem.
This one, to me, is kind of a cool itinerary because you're getting the best of all the worlds, right? So you are starting in Romania, you're exploring this country, going to Bosnia, but then ending up kind of in a beach vacation, right? So you're getting all of it. And so to me, when you have that amount of time that you want to spend on a vacation, but you're like, but I want to hit the beach and I want to, this gives you a little bit of all of it.
Well, Croatia's on everybody's list, let's be honest. It's not flying under anybody's radar, but Bosnia-Herzegovina and Romania, people just don't think of them, and they really should.
Yeah. Now, this area is also, or this itinerary would be a fairly affordable itinerary to do because Romania and Bosnia are still quite affordable to travel to. But then going into Croatia, depending how luxury you decide to go,
Right.
And where you're going to be on the water, that might take you up a little bit. Okay, now number 5. This is a pretty cool one, and this is where we started, and that was going to Portugal and to Spain and doing that kind of travel through both of those countries. Very easy to do. They are both incredibly easy countries to get around.
Yeah, they're easy for a few reasons. The train systems are good, fantastic in Spain. Portugal's adequate. The flights from Lisbon, just about anywhere you want to go. If you're on the west coast, the east coast of the United States, obviously you Brits know all about Portugal and the Algarve and how easy it is to get down to San Malaga. It's so easy to get to.
It is. It's easy to get to.
You can get, if you live in Florida, you can get from Florida to Lisbon the same as you would to California. So why not do it? It is easy. It's quick once you get there. One thing that people asked us about the most when we were in Portugal was the language barrier. You won't have any problems.
No, especially in the towns that if you're staying in more of the touristy towns, the places where people are hitting them all the time, you're not going to have an issue. What we would recommend doing is starting in Porto, fly into Porto, spend whatever amount of time that you decide to there, maybe head out to the Douro Valley, which is something we did. We stayed at a winery,
yes.
Did a wine tour, and that was really cool. You can actually take a boat up through there, or we took the train. Yeah, and then from there, we would suggest hopping onto a flight and going down to Lisbon. You can absolutely take a train as well. Once again, that's just kind of varying how much time you want to spend.
But you've got a month, so you may as well take that train. It's a lot of fun. Lisbon now has a lot to do outside of Lisbon, the city itself. You're going to spend a lot of time there, but there's Sintra, there's Óbidos, there's Cascais. Yeah. And plenty more.
So much
So you
to
might
see.
want to spend a good week in that region.
And then from there, you want to take a train and head down to the Algarve. This is an area we absolutely fell in love with. We returned and spent a month in 2 different locations in the Algarve. So if you're interested in that area, check out those videos. But yeah, we absolutely loved the Algarve. This area is going to be the beach part of your vacation now. And plenty to see. There is a train that runs the whole coastline there, so you can go from one end to the other and kind of just have day trips to be able to go and centralize yourself in one spot, but then hop around.
Hop around a little bit. From there, you want to go into Spain. Now, Sevilla is a must on anybody's list. If you're going to Spain, you've got to go to Sevilla. You can take a bus from the Algarve right up to Sevilla, no problem. And I would spend at least a couple days.
Yeah, Sevilla goes down as it was such a beautiful city, caught me off guard of how much I fell in love with this city. There was so much to see and do. There is no lack, like Brian said, make sure and allow enough days. I would probably say at least maybe 4 or 5 days, especially because there's some day trips from there that you could do as well.
Yeah. We went down to Ronda from there, and you see the bridge that connects the 2 parts of the city. On all of your screensavers that might pop up on your TV. We were there, we looked up at it. So from there you can go down to Malaga, do southern Spain, and from there you can get anywhere in the world.
Right. And then from this point, then we would suggest probably heading more north. We went to Alicante, absolutely love that as a beach town, but there's a lot of beach towns that you could choose if you want some time on the coast there on the Mediterranean waters.
Yeah, we took the tram up and down the coast, and it was beautiful. It's another place we need to get back to. It's where we started. We loved it. Why haven't we been back? We don't know. We're going to get back.
It keeps getting put on our list and then bumped off our list.
There's so many places to go and see.
Yeah, and like Brian mentioned, getting around Portugal was a little bit more, it's doable. The trains are fine, but the train system in Spain is absolutely wonderful. You will have no problem navigating and getting around. From there, we would then suggest heading to one of the bigger cities, which is where you're going to fly out of. So maybe Madrid or into Barcelona, whichever kind of appeals, or do them both.
Well, you got a month.
Right.
You got a month.
Once again, you have a month. But if you're doing Portugal and Spain and hitting all those places, it's going to eat it up pretty quick. But that section to us, I don't know, Portugal and Spain still go down as such great memories for us. All of these places that we've talked about today actually went down with really great memories for us. We really hope to get back to all of the ones that we put on the list.
Now, Portugal and Spain, you could do in 2 weeks, but not that entire. Not to enjoy it the way you need to, that entire list from start all the way to the end. So keep that in mind as well. Sure, you could do it in 2 weeks. How much of it are you going to experience, though?
Right.
Take a month.
We really hope that this has added some other ideas. Like we said, we have our video where we did the 2-week vacation. So if this one you're like, I don't have that much time, be sure and check that one out. But this gave you some other ideas of ways to expand on that and have, if you've got that 3 to 4 weeks to go and explore.
If you got it, you may as well use it.
You want to make it cool. You want to make it big.
You want to make it epic. Thanks for joining us. If you'd like to see more from our channel, we got a whole list of videos for you to watch. We appreciate you watching this one. We'll see you next week.
Cheers.
Cheers.